Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of our program, Farmers Empowerment Series, brought to you by FastSpeed Technology. Yes, this program is for farmers to get educated, to improve their productivity, and also to improve their profitability. If you are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the notification bell and subscribe to the channel. Today we'll be talking on capital sales and marketing strategies in agribusiness. You no doubt agree with me that these are important strategies for your business growth in agriculture. Yes, it is important for us to take note to have good strategies in our sales, in our marketing, as well as the capital for our business. I have with me here Mr. Shubande Kende, who is ready to anchor and also educate us regarding this. But before then, I have his profile here and I want to read that. Shobande Kendi is an experienced agribusiness manager with over 10 years experience in various aspects of the agricultural sector. He understands the Nigerian agricultural sector well and gathered experience from other African countries. He works with FS Commodity Exchange, which also allows him to expand relationships and interactions with rural farmers all around Nigeria. Shobande holds a degree in agricultural extension from ABU Zaria and an MBA in agricultural management from Rome Business School, Nigeria, among other professional qualifications. He understands the challenges rural farmers face, and with his training and experience as an agricultural extension agent, he has assisted in preparing solutions to some of these. He's able to relate with these farmers in their local dialect, which drives home the understanding they need. He holds the position of an area sales manager with Icarus Commodity Exchange. Some of his duties at ASM include, but are not limited to, coordinating outreach programs for smallholder farmers, sharing new technologies, innovation, and knowledge for the improvement of their farming practices, close deals with traders to manage the storage of grains and oilseeds. Shobande is very passionate about agriculture and is even more driven by a strong desire to contribute to improving food security and ensuring zero hunger. He has been able to improve the livelihood of smallholder farmers through outreach and extension services. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I welcome Mr. Shobande Kende. Welcome, Mr. Kende. Can you hear me? We're happy to have you. And how are you doing today? Can you hear me? Welcome, Mr. Kende. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, please you can put that in the comment section. Probably I'm having technical issues. Mr. Kende, can you hear me, please? Hello, Mr. Kende, can you hear me? Since we're having a little bit of technical glitch from our speaker's end, please hold on for just a few minutes as he joins us back. Hello, Mr. Kende, can you hear me now? Okay, since you can hear me, please, if you can hear me, now you can start. We're happy to have you join us back. Okay. Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, can you
Welcome,
hear me?
sir. Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. Good afternoon, everybody. Um, that's technology for us. And I have to use my laptop now. I initially used the phone, but the laptop seems not to show my face. Uh, Notwithstanding, we have to move ahead. Okay, fine. So let's just start. My name is Shobande Kainde. I'm an agribusiness advocate, and I count it a privilege to be invited to speak to us today on capital sales and marketing strategies for agribusiness. As you can see on the slide, my name again is Shobande Kende, and you can see my phone number there and my email. So, Mr. Maywa, let's go to the next slide. Beautiful, thank you. Before we move on further, it's important we know what capital is. I know a lot of us know what capital is already, but let me just re-emphasize it. Capital in business, either agribusiness or any other business, refers to the sum of financial assets that are acquired to produce goods and services. These funds can be to initiate the operation, meet daily expenses, or grow and expand the business. You all know what capital is. Capital must not actually be cash. It can also be an asset that you have just in agribusiness or in poultry farming. The land, the cage, uh, the drinker, the feeder, they are all your capital. Now, having gotten the knowledge of capital, let's move further as we talk more. Now, for most people that want to start agribusiness, you hear people say, I don't have capital, I don't have money, I don't have this. The question arises that what are the sources of capital in agribusiness? Just like in any other business, agribusiness has a lot of sources. One of them is loan. As we know, a loan is a debt provided by an entity. Oftentimes, when we hear the word loan, all we think about is we tend to think more of the banks. No, beyond banks, any other organization or individual, your friend can loan you some money to start, and loans can be in short term, medium term, and long term. Short term loans are bank loan for up to 1 year for specific purpose, such as the purchase of poultry equipment and tools. I want you to forgive me because I will be using more of poultry equipment and poultry as an example here, because the organizers of the business of this great meeting tends to specialize on that. So loan is that capital or the money you got from friends, individual, and another place. And next slide. So that's one source of capital for agribusiness. Another one is equity. Now, a poultry farmer can start his or her poultry farm using his or her own source of fund or money, which, in other words, is your personal money. It can be your money from your savings, and that is called asusu in Igbo, ajo in Yoruba, and adashe in Hausa. Now, The equity is that money that is your own. And most people are so fortunate that they have it in mind to start agribusiness over some time. And what they do is to put money together and to be able to do that. And this is refers to as equity or the owner's equity. That's another source. Don't forget, we've mentioned loan and now we've talked about equity. The next one, supplier's credit or trade credit. Supplier credit or trade credit. And this is another source that we all know that we apply in every other thing we do. I don't think there's any exception in agribusiness. Maybe you're expecting me to say something that is out of this world. No. Sources of capital in agribusiness are actually those sources of other business, even that you know. So this trade credit is a form of short-term financing common to all businesses. In fact, it is the largest source of short-term fund for business firms collectively. Now, in advanced economy, most buyers are not required to pay for goods upon delivery, but are allowed a short-term deferment period before payment is due. During this period, the seller of the goods extend credit to the buyer. Now, in our Nigerian context, okay, maybe you know somebody that's selling that poultry equipment and you got into an agreement with the person. I need some feeder from you. I need some drinkers from you. I need a carton of poultry bed, and you sign an agreement. And after some time, you are able to pay back to that person. That also can be referred to as trade credit, which most of us are familiar with. I want to shock you. Most businesses you see, no matter how big they actually do this in one way or the other. You may not just be exposed to it, but by the time you are in some organizations, you see organizations buy commodities or buy agricultural produce, like they don't pay, like they will sign it into an agreement. This commodity we are taking from you, it will take 3 or 4 days before we pay, 5 months before we pay, and the other company may just agree with their terms, and there is business. So even if you're a smallholder farmer, you think this is only applicable for smallholder farmers. I'm here to shock you that even big companies, multinational companies also get this source of capital for the agribusiness. So let's look into the next one. My apologies for my camera. I think the camera for the laptop is not faulty. So now, borrowing from friends and relatives. Borrowing from friends and relatives. This can actually be funny, but I think it's high time Nigerians know that it's better we put funds together to help each other to start a business than to put funds together to do burial or start Owambe or do a wedding. Now, this is a very known source of capital in some advanced country where a relative pull funds together in order to start business for a friend or a family member. An individual seeking to start a poultry farm can also borrow from friends or family members. Besides, a family can also contribute towards business capital in terms of fund, sponsorship for a cost to gain scheme, and providing fixed assets like land, vehicle, machine, and so on and so forth. So if you have not used this this form of a source of capital, and you have it in mind to start an agribusiness, let go of what people will say. Approach that your friend, approach that your relative. Just have a proper business plan that is sellable. Go forth and sell yourself to them. Tell them what they stand to gain if they support your business in one way or the other. Most of the time, we just assume before we get even a rejection, we assume that someone will reject you. I think it's high time we look into that and approach our family members, our friends. But this has to do with the integrity you have built with that person over the years. So I just have to chip this into that. Integrity is a currency here. For a friend or a family member to be able to bench on you, to let go some capital, to let go their land, their vehicle for you, it has to do with who you are. And that's also a source of agribusiness capital. Let's move further, please. Good. Now, just in this generation of today, you see an unemployed youth have an iPhone of 900,000 and he's telling you he's looking for a job. Oftentimes I get amazed, like 900,000 will start a very good broiler farm. A very good one. In fact, at that level, you can as well buy the feed that you feed you give to the birds for the next 8 months before you dispose them. So yeah, selling of personal properties, of assets. Now, selling your property to start a business, especially agribusiness, is not a bad thing at all. So you can sell out that iPhone you have, you can sell off that laptop, is investment, in order to be able to start something. The youth of today tends not to look into that. I have younger ones like that, that they have iPhones, and the next thing you hear is that Nigeria is not giving a job. There's no job anywhere. There's no this anywhere. But these guys have source of capital in their hands, their property. That thing they have is worth more than what they need to start a job from themselves. They can as well keep just 100 birds, and in every 8 weeks they will sell off these birds, and over time you can now buy that big phone from your profit if the need be. You will see by the time you see it, you will not have any reason to go for bigger phones like that again. The danger with this is that they may not be already buyer, or worse still, even if those willing to buy may not raise the required sum of money needed. But I'm a kind of person over the years, I don't tend to look at the limitation. Look at the positive side, because the mind have a lot to do. Have you said it and it has not come to pass? Have you envisaged that business and the source of capital is not here? I just need to chip in this motivation. Enough of I don't have what to start business with. One of your source of capital is your mind. Mastering of your mind can be a very good source of capital for you. When you have a positive mind, a possibilitarian mind, that you believe that, okay, I will get this fund, and you keep on regurgitating on that your idea, I bet you it works. It will come to pass. Say whatsoever you think it, will come to pass. So have you made it to, have you cloud yourself with the thought of that business you want to start? Make that the thought get over you. Just keep regurgitating on the thought. Just keep regurgitating on the thought. Before you know, the source of capital will actually come forth. I think this has to do with the sources of capital in agribusiness, even in every other business. So let's move further, please. Yes, I purchase. I purchase allow the business to use an asset without having to find the money immediately. Like maybe you needed to use a battery cage or a little poultry farm that you think somebody have abandoned over the time. You can as well go to the person to use that place. A finance house buys the asset from the supplier and retail its ownership during the period of hire purchase. Now, this for a big term, but the example I gave is the easiest one for someone who wants to move into agribusiness. Somebody can have feeder, drinkers, and some little equipment in poultry. You go, please, I need to buy this stuff, but I don't have money for now. Why don't you sell it for me? And over time, I'll pay you. That's another source of capital in agribusiness. Let's move further, please. Good. Enough have been said about sources of capital in agribusiness. You will agree with me that after the source of capital, what next? I was reading something today by Deji, an activist. He said, you just need to start business. And most of those people that commented there were complaining about not having capital. And somebody told someone, commented that a lot of these people commenting, if they are asked, how much do you need? They don't even have it. They don't even know. Most of them don't even know. So capital may come at any time. Prepare yourself. Have a very good business plan. I, as a person, I can give you a business plan in every part of agribusiness, like anyone. And presently, I work with a company that will deal with commodities. I can tell you for piggery, I can tell you for rabbitry, I can tell you for poultry. I've done this over the years. So I just need to employ the youth here that beyond capital, there is more to capital, because they may give you the capital and it will not work. It will fail. So that's why the next one we'll look into now is sales and marketing of a marketing strategy for agribusiness. Sales and marketing strategies for agribusiness. And major keys for effective sales and marketing strategy. Before I go into the little one, the first one we'll look into, the major one, is market research. Market research. Yes, beyond capital, market research. Before you can effectively create a marketing strategy, research is the key. It's not because everybody is going into poultry farming, you want to go into poultry farming. No, it's beyond that. Do your market research. What's the market in my environment saying? Do I have a saturated market? what are the strategies that can be employed in this market? What will give me an edge in this market I'm about to move into? If I get into this market, is this sustainable? Will I be able to meet the needs of the market? Most farmer thinks that if Sheraton Hotel gives them contract to supply beds, they are made for life. The question is, can you sustain the supply? Will you be able to rear breeds over the time that will sustain that supply that has been given onto you? You need to sit back and do all this research. It's just like those that are trying to write a project. You will also see that that person will want to do a research, and even your research method also play a role here. Are you going to competitors to make a research? Don't forget, a competitor may not tell you the real thing. Or are you going to the marketplace to make research? And this is very important. The next one, after you've made your research, adequate data. The data you gathered will help you in carrying out effective marketing. Having adequate data is also another key component. You must have your data. Don't forget, number works. A successful agribusiness must be number driven. Again, a successful agribusiness must be number driven. Gone are the days that you just can't just outline your success without numbers. Your data is very important. This data will help you a lot. Now, the next one, focus on the quality of your content. Focus on the quality of your produce. How are your poultry birds looking after 8 weeks? Do they look marketable? What is the weight of the carcass? What is the dress weight after they've been pieces? How do they look? It's important you focus on the quality. It's better you have a good quality than quantity. Quality makes your market sustainable. In agribusiness, quality makes your business sustainable. If you have a quantity, if you are just on quantity, over time, you will fade out. Over time, nobody will know you. Over time, you will just be like, those days when this farm used to exist. You need to be focused. Don't be overwhelmed when people praise you. Be goal-oriented and be focused. These are effective sales and marketing strategy. I'm not the kind of person that will tell you what is not applicable. Like, I'm not a literature agribusiness expert. I'm a practicing agribusiness expert. I've practiced in so many aspects. I've practiced in the teaching, in the rearing, and I've practiced even in rural area. As I'm talking, I'm in a rural area in Niger State where I work. So I meet with smallholder farmers every day. I know what they encounter. So that's why you don't expect a lot of just a literature talk from me. I don't do that. I tell you what is actually applicable in the market. So let's move to the other sales and marketing strategies we have. Now, after you've done your homework and you have done everything, bros, you need to advertise. You need to what? Advertise. You need to advertise. And I'm bet to tell you that advertisement doesn't have to do with the one you do on a billboard. You do, no. Your neighbors, your family members, the people along your street are the best people you can market to. When you can get your niche, your environment to patronize you, from there, somebody will refer you to another person in the third street. Another person will refer you to another person in his workplace. You need to open your mouth and advertise your business. A closed mouth is a closed destiny. So it is a business that does not do it, that does not advertise is just a closed business. So you need to do improper advertisement is very, very important. Number two, business branding. Bros, business branding. In other words, what we call packaging. In the rural area where I work, right, I often tell the old men that farm that, Baba, if I start my own rice farming, it will be better than yours. You're like, do you know how many people I've trained with this? No. I will put packaging in my own. There will be branding beyond how you keep your produce. Beyond that, there must be proper branding. You need to brand to package your business. Okay, how do you package your dress carcass, the poultry meat? How do you put it? Can you put it in a better paper that everybody who sees it will want to buy your birds? Now, those birds that you put in cage, can you clean them up and make them look so beautiful and make them look so enticing to buy, even when they are alive? Even the cage, is the cage dirty? Now, can you make the cage look so beautiful as you display it just in front of your house? Okay, when you want to take it, you want to deliver it to a prospective customer, can you put it in a cage that will make the customer say, man, if this man can bring these birds like this, you do not just hold it anyhow and bring it. It will help. That's essential. That's important. The next one is value addition. Value addition. Now, I often ask myself this question. Why is it that most people that keep birds don't go further to add value? You can have a barbecue joint just in front of your farm, and you do beautiful chicken suya for them. That's value addition. Don't leave it for the Hausa men alone to do. Don't leave it to those who don't even know, but they gain more from you. Add value to your own. Beyond rearing, go to the next step. Add value to it. Okay, can you get a smoke? Tell people around, I can still smoke this for you. I can still smoke it for you. Bros, I will kill it for you for free. I will dress it for you for free. Just come buy from me. That is it. The next one is exhibition. Exhibition. I made mention of that when I was talking about branding. Okay, when your breasts are ready, why don't you display them? Like, let everybody just see them. Just have a beautiful cage outside and just display them outside. Let people see them, exhibit them, and if there is any fair that have to do with exhibition, you can as well go further to do that. To do that. If where you are is good, then you are too good to be where you are. As a farmer, listen to that. If you've been selling live chicken alone and you believe you are making good sale, why don't you take it a step further and give your competitors homework? Take it a step further and give your competitors homework. If where you are is good, you are too good to be where you are. If rearing and selling live chicken is where you are, take a step further, add value to it. Take a step further, sell frozen chicken. Take a step further, package it. Take a step further, make barbecue with it. That is it. And for those who do barbecue and the rest, you can as well go at hangouts, sample, and freebies. You can just kill one and tell people, come and test the quality of my own poultry breasts. They are better. You can do that. It makes the difference. It will make a difference. Offer discounts. Bros, I sell it for 5,000. If you buy two, I will give it to you 9,000. If you buy three, I will give it to you at 13,000. This can't work. It has a psychological way of affecting the thinking of how the buyer thinks. It makes the buyer wanting to take advantage of that privilege. As such, do something that will make the difference. The next one, network with people in your field. You cannot be into poultry farming and all your friends are into piggery. Because birds of a feather flock together. If you are in poultry, network with people. Network with people. Your network is your net worth. Why do you network with these people? One of the poultry farmer can have an order. Now, that order, he cannot meet up with the order. The next thing, he will extend that order to your farm. That, in a way, have made you to make a sales you never thought of. That have given you an edge. That have given you an edge. Like, as I've got to know the organizer of this, Muyiwa, the next thing, I started thinking what we can do together. What we can do together in this field, network with people in your field. It have a way of improving in your person. Having said all this, it is important that you have a positive mind. I keep saying this. Don't see failure where people see failure. Yoruba people have a saying that is the name the father names his child, and that child bears. If you see your business as a failure, it will be a failure. If you see your business as a success, it will indeed be a success. This alone is a sales and marketing strategy that is within you. Seek success in your business. Speak success. Let your body language talk success. You can go into your poultry farm, talk to your birds. You guys will actually do well. You guys will be so well. Now, nature have a way of adhering to what you say. I'm not trying to talk about but it close your ear, you will make real success. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I must appreciate Farm Speak technology. I really appreciate this opportunity to to propagate the good news in agribusiness. I, I look forward to better collaboration with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. It was an educated session. I've gained a lot, and I'm sure that the farmers here too have gained a lot from this session. I noticed some key points from what you've said. First time you emphasize on quality. Quality is key. Yes. I even noticed that from the comment section too. We talk about value addition and we should not be limited alone to production. We also talk about quality makes a market sustainable. Yes, it is important for farmers in agribusiness to ensure that they have good quality. We talk about taking our services a step further, and yet we talk about this too, that having a good business plan is paramount to accessing funds. Yes, we have a few questions for you. Okay, Mr. Hemi is saying thanks a lot. Yes, thank you, Mr. Kindi. A lot of value was delivered. Yes, not just to you, Mr. Hemi. We all gain from that. Thank you for that comment, Mr. Hemi. Thank you, Mr. Fahab. I can see your comments there. Yes, indeed, we learned a lot. I have a question here from your bio, from the comment section. From your bio, I read that you work with CIFERS. How can farmers tap into the benefits that CIFERS offer? Please, Mr.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So I can go ahead and answer the question, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, I think the person said, how can a farmer get benefit from our services in AFS, right? Yes.
Yes.
A farmer can, it depends on the state where you are. In the Southwest, I know we do a lot of cocoa in Southwest. So so we reach out to cocoa farmers. We do a lot of outreaches with them. If you need to ask questions, you can as well call me or drop a WhatsApp chat. I will link you to somebody close to your state. I know we have a place in Osun, Ondo, Ekiti, and so on and so forth. So we'll be so glad to work with you. We'll be so glad to also be a blessing to you from what we do in FX. Thank you.
Thank you for that question, for the answer to that question. I believe the answers have been gotten from that question, how you can benefit from the services, the outreach program, the crop production, and that aspect too. There's another one here. I'm trying to expand my poultry production into other form of livestock. Oh, this question is about research. You talked about research during the session. How do I go about research to be able to draw out a positive competitive analysis? So the question is how this person or how he wants to go about research. You emphasize on the need of research. How do you think one can research on the kind of business to do or to improve the business?
Just like that person asks, um, naturally, you know what you have flair for in agribusiness. Now, if it's somebody that have flair for running livestock or going into commodity, buying and selling of commodity or some. So our number one research is within yourself. If I do this thing, do I have that craving? Can I take care of birds? Can I clean up a very smelly place? Now, after you have you are able to answer those questions personally, then further, you can as well go further and discuss with people that have been in the field. You have a lot of negative vibes, but don't dwell on those negative vibes. Just get the positive part. Don't let those negative vibes owe you. Like the question you should ask yourself, if this thing is this bad, will this person still be in this business? Are people not making it every day? Are people not buying poultry bed? So there are a lot of farmers. So that you need to make friends, ask them. So from what they tell you, you'll be able to get a lot of information that will help your business as you grow. They will be able to tell you how they cut costs, how they handle their birds, that the feces don't smell out, and a lot of that. Most of this research, I'm giving you practical research now. I'm not giving you theory. If I want to give you theory, I will now be telling you, you do this. No, 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 no. And when you do those research, you will be able that after some time, you'll be able to draw out conclusion by yourself. Then the best research in poultry is experience. Just start with little number. You can start with 10. If you're able to read that 10, maybe you have a mortality of 3, that means you got 70%. By the time you will be going into 15 or 20 birds, you will not do something you did wrong in the first place. So in poultry farming, because it has to do with life, like somebody will say, no matter how experienced a childless matron is, that matron cannot tell how painful labor is. As such, you need practical knowledge in poultry farming. You need practical knowledge oftentimes in agribusiness. That's why don't just dive into agribusiness. Start little by little. Just use one leg to test the water and you can move further. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer to that question. I noticed some points there. We talked about networking. You need to network for research and also to also get started, as you say, that best research is also experience. We also have a lot of resources that you can tap into. You can attend programs, vision programs. Thank you, Mr. Kende, for answering that question and doing justice to that. And lastly, I have one here. Okay, let me just ask two questions now. I'll just run it into one. What are the major kind of risks attached to the different forms of accessing capital? Secondly, do we have risks attached to this kind of forms of accessing capital? We talked about loan. We talked about borrowing money from friends or relatives. We also talked about selling of assets. So do you have risks attached to this? And then the question other is which form of capital will you recommend for one who is just starting? The farmer who is just starting, can you recommend or what do you think would be the best for such one?
Okay, thank you very much. And those are beautiful questions. Yes, this life is risks. We live this life, we are in a risky situation. Like I told you, I work in a rural area in the north, and it's, every day we travel from one place to the other. Risk is like is a part of life. All the sources of capital that are listed have different type of risks. But if we are to dwell on them, you will not make ends meet. And when you sell your personal property, the question you will now ask, what of if it fails? Okay, what of if it does not fail? So, in as much that there are risks, just we have different risk absorber. So you know yourself better. So try to take the one that you can bear the risks. But for a starter, I will not advise you to go to microfinance bank or to bank to get a loan, especially for poultry farm. Don't go and collect Bomule Lanta, Lapo, and the rest, because in agriculture, the unforeseen circumstances can happen at any time, and that's the risk. So just look for the one that you can bear the pain. If it, as somebody say, which one is the best source of capital for a starter? I think Mr. Muyiwa just helped me answer the question. Borrowing from friends and relatives. Number one, and number two, your personal money. In fact, okay, our number one should be your personal money or your personal savings. Now, if there will not be a need to go further out for a starter, I will beg you in this instance, talk to a friend, talk to a relative. Now, as the business grows, that's when you will be able to know if you have the stomach or you have the muscle to look further into other sources of income. But your personal savings, don't think it's too small. Your personal savings, or if you have something worthwhile that you can let go, just sell it. And why I say personal savings, it will make you to tread carefully. You will not want the business to fail. If you sell your own property, you will not want that business to fail, because you will hold yourself accountable at the end of the day. So it's important you go for personal savings and that. Then that is that for now.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your answers to such questions. It's necessary for one who is just starting out to use his personal funds and also to solicit from friends and relatives before accessing funds from the microfinance banks organization. That's really important. Thank you. Mr. Kende can be contacted on this number plus 07066506517, and as well as his mail tubandekende@gmail.com. If you want to reach out to him regarding his services and what he does to help to assist farmers, what he does to improve farmers' productivity, and as well as improving their profits too, you can as well reach out to him. And this is how far we take on this edition of our program. You can as well contact us, FanSpeak, on our Instagram page, on our Facebook page, as well as our LinkedIn page. Displayed on the screen here at FanSpeak Technology on Facebook, at farm_speak on Instagram, and at FanSpeak1 on Twitter, and Facebook, on Telegram. You can reach us in any of these channels, and we'll be glad to reach out to you too and also attend to your questions. We hope to have you back some other time. But until then, please, if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe, turn on your notification button, so you also be notified when we are live. You won't want to miss out on further other editions of this program. I will look forward to see you next time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Kendi, for this educating program. And also, thank you, everyone, for joining us. See you some other time.